Imagine for a second you're the captain of a brand new, state-of-the-art ship. Sounds good, right? But here's the catch. Your crew is from every single corner of the globe. Now, this isn't just some hypothetical for sailors anymore. In our totally interconnected world, that scenario, well, it's pretty much the reality for every leader out there.
So let me just ask you, straight up, how would you do it? Seriously, how do you lead a team with 10 different backgrounds, 10 different ways of communicating, 10 different ways of just seeing the world? That is the exact challenge we're going to break down today.
Okay, so to get this, we have to start with one massive idea: globalization. And it's not just a buzzword, I promise. It's this deep, deep interdependence between nations on, well, pretty much every level you can think of. This interconnectedness, it's the new normal. It's the default setting for every team, everywhere.
And that new normal brings us to what we're calling the Global Crew Challenge. Think of it like a sudden storm brewing on the horizon. You can't sail around it, you've got to learn how to sail right through it.
You know, any good captain knows you can't just point the ship into the wind and pray. No way. The very first thing you do before anything else is you pull out the map. And for our purposes, that map is culture.
So, let's get into it. Reading the cultural map. This is all about understanding those invisible forces, right? The unseen currents that are always shaping how our team members think, how they act, and how they talk to each other.
So what even is culture when we boil it down? Well, it's all those beliefs, values, rules, and traditions that a group of people shares. But here's the single most important word in that whole sentence: learned. Culture isn't in our DNA. It's a system that we're taught.
Now, the second we start talking about different cultures, we immediately hit a huge hidden reef: ethnocentrism. It's that very natural, very human instinct to see our own culture's way of doing things as the default, the right way. And for a leader, that is one of the most dangerous blind spots you can possibly have.
To put it as simply as possible, ethnocentrism is that little voice in your head that whispers, "My way is the right way." And just being able to hear that voice, that's the first step to sailing past it. Because if you let that little voice go unchecked, it can harden into something a lot worse: prejudice. And prejudice is just an attitude about a group of people that's based on bad information or not enough information. It's what happens when we let our assumptions fill in the blanks.
Okay, so we've got our map, culture. But a map's not much good if you don't have an instrument to find your direction. For any leader, that instrument is your compass. So first things first, let's get a really clear idea of what leadership even is. The most important thing to get is that it's a process. It's not a job title. It's the art of influencing people, of getting them to pull together toward a common goal.
And this is such a critical distinction. On one side, you have formal leadership. That's the authority you get from a title on an org chart. But on the other side, that's where the magic is: informal leadership. That's when your influence comes from who you are and what you do. It's when people choose to follow you. And wow, is that powerful.
And this shows us that leadership is never, ever just about the leader. It's always this dynamic dance between four key things: the leader, the follower, the communication between them, and the situation they're in. A truly great leader knows how to balance all four of these all the time. So let's see where this is all going. This is the part where it all clicks into place, where our cultural map and our leadership compass finally come together. This is culture meets command. Just look at this example. It's so clear. It shows just how deeply culture affects a really basic leadership task. So American leaders, they tend to give directions and feedback face-to-face. But Japanese leaders often prefer to use written memos. Now, neither one is better, but if you don't understand that one simple difference, you're sailing straight into confusion and frustration. So, how do you possibly bridge gaps like that? Well, the answer is a skill. It's called cultural intelligence, or CQ for short. It's your ability to adapt, to function, and to be effective in new cultural settings. And let me tell you, in today's world, that is nothing short of a leadership superpower.
And CQ isn't just some vague concept. No, it's built on three real solid pillars. You've got the head. That's your knowledge, your strategies for understanding culture. Then there's the heart. That's your motivation, your confidence to even try. And finally, you have the body, which is how you translate all that knowing and feeling into the right actions.
All right, let's bring this all home. We've got the map, we've got the compass. Let's look at the actual tools you need in your toolkit. Welcome to the Art of Great Leadership.
You know, effective communication is the whole game,
And this acronym, Human Touch, is just an incredible guide. Let's just pick a couple. H is for hear him, and that means really listening. U is for understand his feeling, which is all about empathy. And A is for appreciate his efforts. It's just a fantastic checklist for connecting with anyone.
And building on that, we have these timeless principles. I mean, know yourself. Be a role model. These are all huge. But for a diverse global crew, this one is the secret sauce. Know your subordinates and care for them. These aren't just nice-to-haves. They are the absolute bedrock of trust.
So after all that, let me ask you one last question. It's kind of like a riddle. When you bring a bunch of talented people together on a team, what's the real math of teamwork? Is it just 1 + 1 = 2?
Well, the answer is kind of mind-bending. When you have high team morale and it's all guided by a leader with high cultural intelligence, 2 + 2 doesn't equal 4. It can equal 8. That is synergy. That's when the whole becomes so much bigger, so much more powerful than just the sum of its parts. At the end of the day, it really all comes down to this. The art of leadership is influencing people by building a foundation of respect and trust. A foundation so strong that your crew wants to cooperate, no matter where on earth they come from, to get to that shared destination. And so I'll leave you with one final thought to mull over. Take a look at your own team, your own crew. What equation are you solving for? Are you just settling for simple addition, for a 4, or are you building the kind of leadership, the kind of culture that can create an 8?